Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Oklahoma Venture Forum podcast. I am your host, Kyle Golding. Today, I'm with Ryan Skeffington, the founder of the Cheers app. We're going to learn all about that in a second. We're also going to learn a lot more about Ryan as well. He is a pitch presenter for OVF in January. So if you're hearing this podcast before that, make sure that you attend the event, do some Q&A with Ryan, listen to his pitch. If you're hearing this afterwards, a lot more detail than you got in the room in January. So right off the bat, Ryan, tell everyone who you are, a little bit of your background, professional education, etc., and then we'll get into the Cheers app.
Perfect, Kyle. Thank you very much for having me. Really excited to talk today. Professional background, I have been an engineer in the oil and gas industry for the last 6 years.
Okay. That makes sense in Oklahoma.
Yes, very fitting.
And a lot of people working in that industry and a lot of the technology that's been developed for the industry now is coming into other areas, right? A lot of things being learned in oil and gas are being applied to all kinds of different industries, not just oil and gas.
Absolutely. There's definitely a strong cross-pollination where I'm seeing tech that was developed for other industries make their way to the oil and gas industry to make it more efficient, and then that same channel heading the other way. So in 2019, I got my MBA a year or two after I got laid off. And so that kind of channeled me to like, hey, let's skill up a little bit. Okay. Went to school to be the best oil and gas engineer ever.
And that was the University of Oklahoma?
That is correct, right across the street, across I-35 on the downtown campus. Right. And about halfway through, I was like, I have always had an entrepreneurial heart. And I changed all of my classes for the second half.
Like an entrepreneur would.
Yes, it was very, I want to go with my heart, go with my gut, and make a decision that I wouldn't regret at the end of the program. And then during that time, did a full year entrepreneurial course of solve a problem, build a business plan, and then if you really wanted to, take it out into the real world and go build it. I didn't have any of those skills at the time, and so I went out and tried to find a co-founder and did an online pitch on Twitch. Okay. And that is kind of how my co-founder and I first met. We have yet to meet in real life. Okay.
How long has this been?
It has been 21 months.
Okay. So almost 2 years, not been in the same room together yet.
Yes. So
got a lot of business in 2022, 2023.
Yes. I'm a very strong proponent of work remote, work from home, work where work gets done.
Whatever works for you.
Absolutely. And so I still have my full-time job at a midstream oil and gas company, working Cheers on the side. It's very nice that most bars and breweries open after working hours.
All right, there you go.
So there isn't any...
a 9 to 5 and then a 5 to 2.
9.
Or 2 when bars close, right?
Exactly. And so it's been a wonderful, hectic last year. A lot of work getting done, a lot of learning, which is something that I really enjoy. And that's kind of why I think I was drawn to the entrepreneurial side of life and the entrepreneurial ecosystem. You
got to love it or you won't put the effort in. That's for sure.
Yes, you have to have a crazy amount of stubbornness to keep going. I just had a conversation with the CEO of a company that is very similar to Cheers, and they just sold to DoorDash.
Okay.
And he's like, I just had 25 engineers on my staff and we raised $15 million. What makes you different? And I was like, well, maybe I'm stupid enough to keep going. And so we're going to push forward into 2023. We've got pitches out for more customers. We've got onboarding clients right now. We're talking to our customers. We're trying to make sure that we're learning every single day how to make Cheers better.
Okay, let's tell people exactly what Cheers is. Cheers is an app. Is it iOS only, or is it also on Android?
So right now it is a progressive web app. So you don't even need to download it to use it, which makes it super easy for someone who's just going to scan a QR code. Okay. You don't have to wait the 5 minutes or hook up to Wi-Fi to download it. But we will be wrapping it onto the App Store for both Android and iPhone.
That makes sense. So Cheers is described as enables people to gather and celebrate. Never miss a moment because you get stuck in a line. No one likes to get stuck in a line. Cheers is a mobile app that reduces time spent in line, increases bartender efficiency, and increases revenue for owners and alcohol brands. That all sounds very good. So that's the official language. Tell us what the Cheers app is, what it does, and the benefit of it.
Absolutely. So our quick analogy is Cheers is the Starbucks app for bars.
Okay.
And so everyone
concise and to the point. I like that.
Exactly. So everyone is used to mobile ordering or ordering ahead and scanning QR codes to view menus. COVID really trained the customer base for us. So people are very comfortable with what Cheers is. And so when you go to a bar, a brewery, or another high volume venue, you don't want to have to stand in line. You don't want to leave the game. You don't want to miss the moment with your friends.
Certainly.
And so you order your beverage, you order your food, and then you either have it delivered to your table or you go to the designated pickup spot when your item is ready. So the queue now becomes digital, and you're only standing in line when your drink is being made.
The least amount of time away from your seat or away from the activity that you're really there for.
Absolutely. You don't go to a bar with friends and family and coworkers to be by yourself standing in line.
Right.
You go
exactly.
for the people.
That's right. The camaraderie, et cetera, right? So you scan a QR code that's located on the table or a table tin or something like that, right? The menu pops up, you put your order in. Is there a verification there that you're 21? Or are we assuming if you're in the building, you're 21?
There are different channels for that. Some venues card at the door, and those are your 21 plus venues. For a venue that is all ages.
Like a restaurant, maybe?
Like a restaurant.
Sure.
The bartender is the final point check. In the future, we would love to partner with like government agencies that have a mobile app that has the ID on the mobile app through an API connection. Say, hey, this user account connected to the government app, their ID is verified. It's got their picture, and it's not out of date.
It'd be like a TSA Fast Pass for the bar.
Exactly.
That's a good deal, right?
And so that reduces liability on businesses.
Sure.
It makes it easier for customers because you don't, when you go out, have to have your card.
Right.
You don't have to have your ID. You're always going to have your phone because that's the society we live in.
We are now, yes.
And so enabling all of those ancillary pieces to be in one single location hopefully makes the ordering and enjoyment of the beverage even more.
That makes sense. So an order pops up on the point of sale system for the bar staff, and then they make it for you.
That's exactly right. Right now, we're incorporated with Square as the point of sale system. We're working on getting other point of sales as we get more clients. Toast, NCR, Micros, all of those are in our hopper. Right now, there is a specific notification in Square. So if the bartender's not looking, it's okay. They'll come back to a notification that they have an order waiting for them. They open the order and they can say, hey, I'm working on this. Please call the customer to the bar. So the bartender's not waiting on the customer. They can mark the order as ready. Hey, I finished this. I need them to come pick it up.
Right.
So a reminder so that the customer's not waiting and they just spent $5 to $12 on a drink. I don't think they're going to want to wait very long.
Right,
exactly. Yeah. And then there is a completed section. The transaction has been confirmed. Let's move on to the next one.
Sounds so simple. I'm surprised it hasn't been done before, but thank goodness that you've thought of this now. So where are we as far as the Cheers app? Can we use it in the general public? Is it almost ready for the public? Is it MVP? Where are you in the stages of development?
I would say we are at the working MVP. We have a location in Norman, 405 Brewing, a wonderful partner for us. They have worked with us hand in hand to make sure that the point of sale system connects. The menu shows up properly. The QR codes are displayed on the table. All the field work, all the things that when you say, all right, it's live, that go wrong, have gone wrong, and they've helped us fix it. Anthem Brewing is the one that we're onboarding right now. We have a handshake agreement that we shook in December, and they said, hey, let's get through the holiday season. It's crazy for us.
That makes sense.
Come back in a little bit. And so now we have a downtown OKC location. And hoping to get one near Edmonds so that we kind of have the north to south vertical.
Right. That makes sense. So where are you as far as this is development of your product, but where are you in development of the business? Are you looking for partners? Are you looking for financial input? What exactly are you looking for, needing, and all? What are the things that the members of OVF can help you with?
Absolutely. So the best source of revenue is paying customers.
Certainly.
And so the way that I would like to build out the business development of Cheers in 2023 is increase the number of venues, so then we have that flywheel effect of we have access to further customers.
Right.
Once we have the user and the venue, we can then focus on marketing efforts and reach out to brands. And so connections within the industry is something that is very valuable to me. Coming from oil and gas, this is a very new space to me. So everyone that I meet is a very valuable connection that can hopefully help Cheers and teach me something along the way.
And there are a lot of places that serve alcohol, like not just bars, but tap rooms, restaurants, music venues, movie theaters. Like a lot of places are serving alcohol that could benefit from the Cheers app, right?
Absolutely. And it's not just alcohol. We can incorporate food and send drink orders to the bar and then food orders to the kitchen.
Okay.
So a place like Flick's Brewhouse, which is we're going to continuously bring you food and beverage through the movie, instead of them having to send servers across people to take orders, have the person just send the order.
Well, even better, they take orders by you writing it down with a pencil and paper in the dark. It's about as elementary as you can get.
Yes.
Big fan of Flick's Brewhouse, but that is a pretty awkward way of doing it. So if you have a more robust way of making those orders and less likely to maybe get messed up, I'm all for it.
Absolutely. If an order is messed up, you only have yourself to blame because you're the one who submitted it.
Right. If you got to tap all the buttons correctly, right?
Absolutely.
So how did we've talked about how the idea came about and where your progress is at. Where do you see this going? What's the next steps in the future, and what kind of help from the entrepreneurial and economic community are you looking for to really go from it's working to it's taking the world by storm?
Well, time, talent, and resources. So if there is someone who is able to devote their time to assisting Cheers in whatever way that is possible, that's more than welcomed. If you want to work for Cheers or support us with social media, business development, sales, growing the business is kind of where I'm focused on right now, along with the product side, but that's harder to hire for when you have limited resources.
That's true.
And then resources, we are a Delaware C Corp. So as a startup, we have the ability to easily raise funds. And so talking with local and non-local venture capitalists is something that we've done over the last 18 months. And we're making the progress slowly to get to the point where we can raise a pre-seed seed round, and that will enable us to take the next step.
And that's what you'll be doing in January with OVF, is you'll be in a room full of people who can do those things with you and hopefully help you along that path. You mentioned the social media, so shout out to social media. The website is getcheersapp.io.
That's correct.
And shout out to social media. Let people know how they can find you, follow, and learn a little bit more about the Cheers app.
Absolutely. So on LinkedIn, I post all of our long-form content where we provide company updates. Very active on Twitter at GetCheersApp. Same with Instagram. We don't have Facebook just yet. That's one of my least used platforms, but I'm always on Twitter, always on LinkedIn. So willing to share everything that we do, connect with people, talk shop, and make connections there. So
we always end the conversation by asking either a question typically about entrepreneurs in Mid-Oklahoma as a new entrepreneur, as someone who made that jump and changed their way through college and through your MBA program. What has been the most interesting and surprising thing to you that was harder than you thought it would be, and that was easier than you thought it would be?
I would say going from 0 to 1, where you can get real customer feedback, get their hands on the product, that has been the most difficult part. It's taken us 21 months because that's not a skill set that I had.
Believe it or not, that's really fast. Don't feel bad about 21 months.
That is what I've been told. Someone said 3 to 5 years. And I'm like, man, I would love for this to go faster and be more exciting. So that's been the hardest part. And then I guess maybe the easiest or most exciting thing is Southern hospitality also applies to the entrepreneurial ecosystem.
Yes.
And Oklahoma City's entrepreneurial ecosystem is growing like gangbusters. It's amazing how many organizations are stepping up, how many firms are being propped up. All the community aspects of Oklahoma City's entrepreneurial ecosystem has been welcoming and so valuable.
In fact, you're pitching in January. Our main presenter is Generator, another investment organization that has just showed up in Oklahoma City that's recently added to the ecosphere. So that is proof of that ecosphere is growing, developing, and you're playing your role as a young founder with a startup that's about to make things happen.
Absolutely. And fun fact about that, Anita and I were classmates in our MBA program in my very first entrepreneurial class.
There you go.
So wonderful connections there.
Your background's oil and gas. Hers was biochem.
Yes.
And now you're both entrepreneurs. You got to love it. We're attracting the best talent to entrepreneurism and business development. So with that, you guys make sure you attend the January OVF meeting. Anita Lee with Generator will be our main presenter. Ryan is going to be pitching Cheers as well. And of course, there'll be links in the description to the show below to how to find Cheers, how to connect with Ryan if you want to know more information. And if you're a member of OVF, you'll have his contact information in the members section, the members only section of the OVF website. Don't forget that as well. So thank you guys for tuning in to the OVF podcast one more time. I'm Kyle Golding with Ryan Skeffington. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.